always nice to have some shout outs. Well, David, I'm really excited to be back up with you here today to talk about something that's been in development for quite a while that, I was hearing about right as I joined the company. And it really is another incredible example of your dedication to innovation, of LifeWave's dedication to innovation. And it's something that I know I'm up here again, kind of representing everybody. How many of you got some samples in your bags? Are you excited to learn a little bit more about those from David? Well, David, in a sea of Me Too products, LifeWave and you have done it again and created something so unique, so differentiated, and so effective that I know I want to learn more and I want to dig on this. So can you talk a little bit about what was the inspiration and the catalyst for developing these products? What was that need or opportunity that you saw?
Yeah, so of course for many years we've been...
I didn't understand that one.
I have a fan, I guess. I don't know what they said, but I love you too. Thank you. Thank you. Don't make me cry. I think of you guys as family, so don't do that. Don't do that. It's too early in the morning. Oh shit, what was I gonna say?
What was the inspiration? The catalyst or the need that you saw?
Okay, I'm good. Okay. So for years, we have been doing product training webinars, and it's, I think a duty, a responsibility to give people recommendations on things that are going to help their lives. So what you'll notice about our product training is we'll start with a specific subject, and let's say it's going to be pain relief. So what we'll do is we'll cover on those product trainings what are the mechanisms behind pain, biologically, physiologically, exactly what's going on. And then quite typically what I'll do is I'll recommend a number of different natural substances. They could be vitamins, they could be minerals like magnesium, different herbs like curcumin, things like this that have been clinically demonstrated to relieve pain. And then we'll talk about, okay, these are the patches now that you can use, and these are the protocols, so people can get the better results. But there is always a little bit of an asterisk next to this because the diets that people consume today are so devoid of proper nutrition. So if someone elects to be a vegan and they want to get the best application from our carnosine patch, their diet is going to be deficient in the amino acid alanine. And of course the preferred form is beta alanine. And so we'd have to say, okay, well, if you're a vegan or a vegetarian, you might want to supplement with beta alanine. And then we would get into our other patches. So for example, of course, X39, you could have people with a deficiency of copper in their diet, which wouldn't be unusual. So we would recommend supplementing with copper. So it kind of started with this idea that for each patch, we would want to optimize the function with certain nutrients that many people might have a deficiency in their diet.
Oh, that's amazing. And one of the really unique things about the product are the multiple formulas. So can you talk about the need for multiple, where a lot of people try to do, or a lot of companies try to do a one-size-fits-all? You were very deliberate about creating multiple formulas, and can you talk about the impact of that?
So yeah, the intent behind this was that the morning formula would be designed to complement any of the patches that people would use during the day. And then the evening formula would complement any of the patches that people would use in the evening. And then there's two other formulas that we're not quite ready to talk about today. But those are designed, it's okay, I promise it's okay. Those, you'll be hearing more about that at Vision in January. Those are going to be designed to optimize the results that you'll want to get with the water machine. So you hear more about that in January.
So as you and your team were developing the formulas, what are some of the ingredients in there that really stand out to you as being unique and super effective and really help to optimize and connect back to those other products?
Yeah, so let's actually go through that. So this is the packaging that we currently have. Can they see that? Yeah, they can see that. Okay. And this, of course, is the supplement label, but let's blow that up a little bit so we can look at the specific ingredients. So probably a good one to start with is magnesium. Most people today are going to be deficient in magnesium. The recommended dose can go anywhere from 100 milligrams to some medical doctors that are clinical nutritionists will recommend up to 800 milligrams per day in very severe cases. But 100 or 200 milligrams twice a day is a pretty good dose. And magnesium will participate in about 300 different pathways in the body. So it's absolutely critical that people make sure that they're supplementing with magnesium. It also takes a long time to build up magnesium levels in the body, so it's important to supplement it with it every day. But if we skipped ahead here a little bit, one of the ingredients that we didn't tell you was going to be in this was the sea buckthorn fruit extract, or Cyancox. And this has been clinically documented, and the inclusion of this ingredient helps to provide a good source of antioxidants, but more importantly, the use of this allows us, just this one ingredient, allows us to make the claim that when combined X39, we can activate and mobilize stem cells.
So you mentioned the time it takes in the body to build up magnesium and some of these others. As we've all heard and experienced with the water machine and with the patches, some of those results are immediate. So as someone starts taking these products, how soon does it start working in our bodies? And then how soon would it take to start noticing some of those results?
Yeah, so with LifeWave, that would be a really great example. So we did a clinical study in a hospital in Lyon, France, quite a few years ago with Dr. Pierre Volkmann. And Dr. Volkmann has been knighted in France, that equivalent. So he's known as the premier expert in pain management. So I went into, myself and Coleman Dillon, we went into this hospital in Lyon, General de Santé. I gave a patching demonstration. They brought me 32 patients in the hospital that were in pain, and we had a number of medical doctors that were observing this. And after an hour, I had 32 out of 32 people out of pain.
Wow.
So they were pretty convinced that the patches had efficacy. So we ended up doing a clinical study, double-blind, placebo-controlled, to statistical significance, and we had 96% of the people in the study got pain relief.
Wow.
So the number of people that respond with the patches is extremely high. But we did notice a few things when we looked at the study in the literature, and that was if people were dehydrated, they may not respond to the patches. And if people were deficient in minerals like potassium and magnesium, they may not respond as well to the patches. And just like magnesium, you could say it could be as high as over 90% of the population is deficient in potassium. And especially today with diets that are very high in sodium, it's important to supplement with potassium. So we included 500 milligrams of potassium citrate in this formula, and many people will feel that the very first time they use it.
I think it's beautiful how all of these products, as part of your strategy, work so beautifully and synergistically together to really optimize and amplify one another. What are some of the key benefits from taking this that we should expect to see?
Yeah, so let's say that someone was a vegan and they had a diet that was devoid of meat, and now they're going to start supplementing with beta-alanine, and they're going to start supplementing with creatine, which are typically found in red meat. What they're going to find is that they can build strength and stamina faster. Beta-alanine, because it's a precursor to carnosine and AHKCU, they may notice that this helps to support cognition. They get better brain function, it supports the health of their heart, and also, and that's what's interesting about creatine, we typically think of it for muscle building. However, creatine is now being shown that it actually does have benefits for the heart, and it actually improves memory and focus, so it's also good for the brain. So just those two ingredients, beta-alanine and creatine, people will notice improvements also in strength, stamina, the ability to build muscle, improved cardiovascular health, and improved cognition.
That's incredible.
Yeah, just those two ingredients.
Incredible. So as you look at the portfolio of LifeWave products, the patches, the soon to be introduced water machine, can you talk about kind of what is a regimen? You know, what should someone's daily ritual look like with all of these products, and how can they incorporate them into their lives?
Yeah, so what we noticed with the studies that we were doing on the water machine is that first we were asking people to have the water on an empty stomach so we could get the best absorption into the body. And then we started to experiment with adding different things into the water and then testing that. And we have a study coming up where we're going to be adding this supplement into the water and then measuring the benefits as opposed to just the water by itself. But I showed the metabolism data that we did on the amino acids, and it was very obvious that a pattern started to form. So you drink this water, and energy metabolism in the body starts to be upregulated. So that is a sure sign that we have an indication metabolism is going in the right way for longevity effects. And of course, we want to continue to establish that. There's also a mediator in the mitochondria in both the electron transport chain and in the Krebs cycle, and that has to do with glutathione and nitric oxide. So our ability to defeat aging is going to be very much determined by this positive and negative feedback loop. So one of the things, and there's some other mediators as well, one is going to be methylation pathways, as it's turning out, are extraordinarily important to longevity. And this makes sense because if you want to reset the genes to a younger state, you have to do that through the process of methylation. I know you know all of this already.
Of course, yes, of course.
So I'm not telling you anything.
But it's for them. It's for them.
Yes, I realize that. I'm getting ahead of myself. So in any case, yeah, the methylation pathways are really important. So, but if we go back to this idea, that what we want to do is elevate both glutathione and both nitric oxide. They're in a loop linked to the way the cell generates energy, and then ultimately how our genes are going to express as being in an older or younger state. So what we did with that then is we included N-acetylcysteine, since if people are lacking dairy products in their diet, they could potentially have a deficiency of cysteine, and N-acetylcysteine has been on the market for 57, 58 years, or actually more now. So it's established as safe. So N-acetylcysteine, of course, is going to support our body's levels of glutathione, master antioxidant. So if people, again, were vegan, vegetarian, and they've been using the patches, they supplement with this, now they get their N-acetylcysteine along with some of the other cofactors, and the results with the glutathione patch and X39 improve. The other thing we did was we included citrulline. So citrulline is a better way to elevate nitric oxide as compared to arginine. Arginine's okay, especially depending on what form, but with citrulline, it will go through the gut and it doesn't get degraded like arginine will, and citrulline, therefore, will convert to arginine in the body and is a preferred way to support nitric oxide levels. So by doing this, by having just those two ingredients, citrulline and N-acetylcysteine, we support the body's antioxidant system, we support nitric oxide, we support energy levels. So people using the patches and this will see very stable energy levels throughout the body. One last thing, we did we did a test in our office. It was purely anecdotal, but we gave people the supplement that weren't wearing patches, and we had them try this, and they got sustained energy for about 3-5 hours after using this. But importantly, they started feeling a boost of energy and a boost in mental clarity within minutes of taking this. So you take this and add it to the water, and you give it to people that are interested in LifeWave. They'll get an effect immediately. That's kind of the bottom line.
That's incredible. I know we're out of time, David. One last quick question. You've analyzed a lot of products, a lot of formulas over the years. So as you look at this and these incredible new products, amazing ingredients, what makes this really stand out and stand above everything else that's out there on the market?
I think this was, the way that this was thought through is that it is in alignment with all of our patch products. It's synergistic with every one of the patch products. So you don't have to think about which individual nutrients do I have to take. You take this one thing, and whatever patches you're using during the day, there's a nutrient in there that's going to support it. The other thing, of course, is that it's going to support the health and the vitality of the stem cells in the body. And then because we made the formula as a powder, now we have the water as a delivery system for the nutritional supplement that improves the delivery. So it all comes together.
David, thank you for developing this and for helping to keep LifeWave on the cutting edge. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.